Hello, I'm Ross Riott from Cultaholic.com. You are a sexual wank pheasant, and because you're a sexual wank pheasant, head over to Cultaholic.com/shop to get one of these shirts so you can tell everybody you're a sexual wank pheasant without actually having to tell anybody you're a sexual wank pheasant.
WTF! WTF!
I tried, everybody, I tried, but after rather shocking revelations revealed by the man on Twitter last night, our once Lord and Saviour Ronda James Cuthbert Rousey is no longer our saviour because she likes her own bastard tweets. That's indefensible. There's no coming back from that. She's a lost cause. Ronda, thank you for all that you did for Cultaholic at SummerSlam, but now I'm fully behind the man. I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com. You are a sexual wank pheasant, and because of that, head over to Cultaholic.com/shop and buy a sexual wank pheasant t-shirt today. And welcome to one of the WTF moments from WWE Raw. That Dean Ambrose's side was an absolutely abysmal show. They're here, they're there, they're every piss and where. Empty seats. Empty seats. So much for all 4 nights from the Staples Centre being sold out, lads, unless, of course, that horrible little troll doll thing that Riott, his horrible, crappy music little head at Survivor Series 2018, bought all of those seats before Survivor Series 2018 when he got his sorry ass banned from that arena, and therefore those seats could not be filled at last night's show. Ruined his plans, didn't it? Potentially, maybe, I don't know. They're empty anyway. We need a new ticker, everybody, after the rip-roaring success that was the WWE are talking complete and other bollocks ahead of Survivor Series because Raw and SmackDown superstars have faced each other at the Royal Rumble, at WrestleMania and Crown Jewel, and a myriad of other events totalizer. I feel it's my duty to let you know just how many times on last night's Raw somebody on the show claimed that Raw had a clean sweep victory over SmackDown Live at Survivor Series, despite the fact that the Usos brought home a W for SmackDown Live on the pre-show, which is of course a real wrestling show with a real wrestling ring with real wrestlers in it, so it counts all right. But she, and of course you know who I'm talking about here, she, the cat's mother, had to take things one step further than everybody else in WWE on last night's show, didn't she? Lady Balls bounced her way down to the ring like a happy hemorrhoid to tell us all that SmackDown Live didn't win one match at Survivor Series. I mean, they did, Lady Balls. They did long and hard, because if you say they didn't, that's telling everybody in the WWE universe that kickoff shows and what happens on the kickoff shows just doesn't matter one jolt, and because of that, I think going forward on these WTF moments, I'll never cover a kickoff show again, because at Survivor Series, it didn't count, it didn't matter, so what's the point? They're more worthless than Byron Saxton, for Christ's sake, and if anything's more worthless than Byron Saxton, you might as well shoot it right in the face. So at TLC, Big Braun Strowman has promised to murder big baldy bastard Baron Corbin. Brace yourselves, everybody. Braun has promised to end Baron's days. And because of this, Big Braun Strowman told Lady Balls herself to make sure that anything he does at TLC, he isn't liable for. To which she replied, Braun Strowman, first of all, give me your bollocks. I need your bollocks to live. And also, doing that with the lawyers is going to be a bit tricky because dismemberment is a corporate liability. She actually said those words. You know where we're going here. Of course it is, Lady Balls, but only when the riches of Saudi Arabia are not involved. When those money bags are, do all the dismemberment you want. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? No. Hang on a second, everybody. For the second week in a row, we have Lady Balls coming out there going, my word is my bond, despite the fact she stood there with Big Braun Strowman last week before Survivor Series 2018, saying to Braun, if you do well, pal, at Survivor Series 2018, you can have a match with big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, and what's more, you can have Brock Lesnar after that. But now on this week's Raw, Lady Balls is saying that Big Braun Strowman has to beat big baldy bastard Baron Corbin in order to get that match with Brock Lesnar, putting a lovely, big, bold hoop for Braun to jump through that wasn't there last week. Lady Bollocks, your own husband was absolutely correct when he said that you're a no good lying bitch all the way back in 2K2. She missed for the first time ever, she missed. Lady Balls went for your boy Finn Balor's bollocks to castrate that silly fool, but somehow Finn got his hand in the way, turning a potentially life-threatening situation into a lovely little handshake. Every man on Raw, please learn from your boy Finn Balor, because up to this point we've seen far too many castration sessions with Lady Balls involved, and we just can't be asked to see any more. I hope you agree with me, because if you don't, I'll fight you. Fire Nia Jax, that sign says there, and quite frankly, my pal, you can shove that sign so far up your cadrially it comes out your own bastard mouth. If that sign there needs to say anything, it needs to say send Nia back down to the Performance Centre for a bit more training, a bit more seasoning, a bit more work on the fundamentals, because of course, as we all know, you're better off by saying nothing at all, because the louder the reaction Nia gets, the more she's going to be used. So just shut up.
Vince McMahon likes big country strong boys. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Haggis.
Made a grave mistake, Corey. Get this right, Corey Graves believes that the dismemberment Big Braun is promising to do to big baldy bastard Baron Corbin isn't going to be an easy sell for Lady Balls to do to the lawyers and whatnot. That's alright, Corey. I know how to get around this one. Light the beacons! Find the blood money! A massive case of gimmick infringement now as we have big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, Mr. Ass Bobby Lashley and medium Drew McIntyre doing the New Day's Unicorn Stampede. But if we had to give that move there a name, what would it be, boys and girls? Because as we all know, the New Day's Unicorn Stampede is named after a unicorn because that's their spirit animal or something, so I guess that would make that move there a baked potato, a brick and a Scottish Undertaker Stampede. Content. You work out which one's which. Somehow, someway, Corey Graves does not remember Braun Strowman being decimated like he is up there. Corey Graves, for Christ's sake, just last year, he was murdered, legitimately squashed, crushed and everything else inside of a garbage truck. Roman Reigns, the big dog, drove Braun Strowman into a wall or something in the back of an ambulance. He was murdered for a second time. Do I need to continue? Fine, I will. The single most devastating that happened to Braun Strowman in his WWE career and the single most devastating that ever happened to a man ever in the history of the world happened at Survivor Series 2018. Well, get this right. The best in the world, Shane McMahon, sent the best elbow drop in the world from the top turnbuckle through the announce table through Braun Strowman's heart, and somehow he lived to tell the tale. As we all know, that would kill a normal man because Shane McMahon is the best in the world, but it's lucky that Braun Strowman's not a man. He's a monster. And next up we have Seth Rollins claiming that he didn't know that Dean Ambrose is capable of loving anything. Now where the hell do we stand with Dean Ambrose legitimately being married to one of the pissing commentators on the show, because now it's just getting confusing. Renee Young, as we hear every single bastard week, goes on as if her and Dean Ambrose are brother and sister rather than husband and wife, and now Seth Rollins doesn't seem to know that Dean and Renee are married and loved up. What are Dean and Renee? Is this like one of those green card marriages I saw in Parks and Recreation with Tom Haverford? I just don't know what this is. Somebody sort this out. Oof, me crabs! He went there, didn't he? Dean Ambrose went there. Dean Ambrose claims that because the Shield did some dirty things back in the day because they were rotten from the core from the very start, Roman Reigns' current leukemia battle is Roman Reigns answering to the man upstairs. But pardon me to poke a hole in your bollocks, Dean, because as we all heard, Roman Reigns has been battling with leukemia for 11 years, which means he's been battling with that disease for 5 years longer than the Shield has actually been a thing, so work that one out, you silly prick. What a bunch of knobbies that security team were, eh? First of all, you've got that there B-Tech Hunter Hearst Helmsley giving Seth Rollins all kinds of sass, before he then goes on to face a Stray White. You get it because Bray and Stray rhyme with each other and they have beards. Haha, who gets up in Seth's grill? And I can't have been the only one thinking there's no wonder that sad little troll doll prick with his crappy music got past security guards despite the fact he was wearing a beaver on his head at Survivor Series 2018, because look at the state of them. Now first of all, let's just think about that scene there from a technological standpoint. Dean Ambrose had to do a lot of things involving a lot of people to get his mug on that screen at the right time, talking to Charlie Caruso when he did, and quite frankly, I just don't think he's capable. He doesn't have a degree. Maybe. He then said that Seth Rollins knows exactly where he is because that room there that he's about to walk into is where the Shield used to call home. That room there appears to be a boiler room, so the question has to be asked, what does three fully grown men, who are very good friends, used to do in a boiler room? It all makes sense now. They used to go to the Undertaker and Kane's boiler room discos with the mood lighting and the smoke machines, and I bet they had a whale of a time. Turns out it was just a staircase though. I guess that's a step up from a boiler room. Hysterical, isn't it? Did you try the peas? Don't get pissed. We're happy to see you're in bladder shape than last night. You're in trouble now. Good thing Drake Maverick manages AOP. Look at that little orange man piss his pants, it's hilarious! Once more, Vince McMahon is a horrible, silly little child. How stupid are the New Day, the Wyatt, Sanity, the Shield, and every other faction in the history of WWE? It seems all they had to do was rock up to WWE and say, hello everybody, we've got our own specialist match type, it's called a blah 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 rules match, and because of that, we're going to have 3-on-2 handicap matches forevermore. But the question remains, why do the Lucha House Party things get these privileges while the rest of the factions in WWE don't? It's easy, it's going to get revealed soon. Vince McMahon is a cocaine fiend and he loves the thick rails of Lucha toot. I love it! Those little men in masks got Vince McMahon and everybody else in charge of WWE bent over a barrel, believe me. Bless her cotton socks, but Renee Young does not know what the Freebird rule is. She justified the Lucha things having a 3-on-2 handicap match for no real good reason whatsoever by saying how the Revival are traditionalists. Easy for me to say. So they would call it the Freebird rule. And of course, if you don't know, the Freebird rule is what the New Day does with the tag team championships, meaning that any 2 of the 3 members involved can defend the tag team championships they're owning at one time. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Hello everybody and welcome to Wankety Wank, which if you don't know is a section of WTF Moments where just like on blankety blank a sexual wank pheasant tweets me with a WTF moment and I put them in WTF Moments because I'm wholesome and pure. Thanks to Matthew Phillips for pointing this out because as we all know the reaction to somebody legitimately losing their legitimate father is entertainment at its finest. It is if you're a dick, but we're not dicks, are we? That woman there claims that you have to be the best in the world on your worst day, and of course I'm asking the question we're all asking, how the hell can you do that when the best in the world, that man there, is going to be the best in the world on our best days? We've got no chance, pals. He's always going to be the best in the world, so Ronda, you might as well give up now. A champion has to do this, a champion has to do that, a champion has to do the other, a champion has to be this, a champion has to do that, a champion has to do a cartwheel with a stick of fire in their finger. Was anybody else watching this promo and just picturing Brock Lesnar sat at home eating his medium well done steak going nom nom nom, Sable, good, Aruga? He would say. Hang on a second there, WWE, you're telling us that a man the size of Chad Gable can keep the man the size of Akam pinned to the mat like that for that long? Now I know that from a technical standpoint, Chad Gable wrestles rings around AOP, the New Day, Sanity, everybody in WWE just about, but that move there is all about mass. Mass is something that Chad Gable doesn't have, unless we're talking about the match he does on Christmas Eve at midnight. Good joke. Midnight Mass. We need to get rid of WWE World Wrestling Entertainment and replace it with World Cock Fondless because everybody from Japan all the way over to Cincinnati, Ohio just loves touching cock at a main event level in WWE. It's happened again. Can they not think of anything else but cock? Oh my god. And now it's time for yet another new groundbreaking segment on WTF Moments, something you'll tell your grandkids about when we're long gone because we've been shafted by Article 13. Brace yourselves everybody, because it's time for... I feel it's my duty to let you know just how many times on last night's Raw somebody on the show claimed that Raw had a clean sweep victory over SmackDown Live at Survivor Series, despite the fact that the Usos brought home a W for SmackDown Live on the pre-show, which is of course a real wrestling show with a real wrestling ring, with real wrestlers in it, so it counts all right. So then just how many times on last night's Raw did somebody on the show claim that Raw had a clean sweep victory over SmackDown Live, not counting Lady Bull saying that SmackDown didn't win one match at all, by the way? 6. And that's it for your WTF moments from last night's awful episode of WWE Raw. Dean Ambrose aside, of course. I like that Dean Ambrose. He's very crazy, but not in a wacky way, in a sadistic way. And that's how it always should be. I'm rambling. Bye. Buy me shirt as well. Links. Follow me on Twitter at RossUnWrestling. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you want to give us, we greatly appreciate it and we'll love you forever. But most importantly of all, do not forget to join us on all of the medias in the socials.